Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Tuesday, 2nd of April 2019. So yesterday in the pound, the market higher as they went for more indicative votes. But unfortunately, as before, not a single one got through. As you can see there, fails again. So the saga continues, and again, I'll say it, I just can't understand why the pound is holding as well as it is, given the crisis that they've got down in Parliament. It's definitely got to be some sort of central bank intervention. It just makes no sense at all, and particularly given all of the scaremongering about how it's going to affect the economy and so on and so forth. And yet the pound is holding very nicely at the 130 area. Yesterday you can see that prices started to move higher from the start, and once they were firmly established above the 200 bar moving average, they just kept moving to the upside there. They dropped on the overnight, but this is when the votes came back and they were all no's for all of the proposed amendments to the Brexit deal, well, not to the deal, but to the Norway deal, the whatever it was, and this and that and the other. So you lose the will to live with this lot. But you can see the effect. That was the only time that we've actually seen anything happen on the pound that correlates to what's actually going on. So we had a 50 pip drop, and then the markets found support again. So it looks like there definitely was some buying coming back into the markets. You can see it here, and the market back above the 200 bar moving average. If it stays above the DP, then it'll stay above the 130 level. News, only US today, core durable goods. This is at 130 before the market opens. It's Tuesday. Markets are likely to just stay in one direction once they've established it, as they generally do on a Tuesday. And in the Dow, well, yeah, it's continued higher. You can see this here as it traded up to the recent high that we drew in at 26,278. However, look, this is going up on fresh air at the moment. There's no real buying in this market. It's a classic case of prices being marked up once more. And there is a classic example of it. See if the market will get through this 26,278, and if it does, then we're heading for the all-time high, which is here, 47 points short of 27,000. So the market continues to move to the upside, and there's the all-time high, which took place in September of last year, and then we had a pullback to the downside there of a significant number of points, 6,000 points, and then the market was brought back by the Fed changing their stance with regards to being hawkish to dovish. And then here's a surprise. We actually have some movement on Bitcoin. If we go back to the daily chart, yesterday, as I showed you, we had this ascending triangle formation. As I said in yesterday's report, these tend to break out to the upside, and 9 times out of 10, and that's exactly what we see here. Taken by surprise in the early hours of this morning, you see prices there moving higher. You can see the sharp move, and when you look at it at the 15 minute, well, it just compresses the whole of the chart. Massive move. So what I would be inclined to do now is to wait and see how this unfolds. It's nearly $1,000 higher at this point. But there's some selling and profit taking coming into the market now. I don't know the reason behind it, but we went straight through the R3, and this is something I've spoken about before. When the market has been incredibly quiet, at the R levels on the upside, the resistance levels can be slightly inaccurate, because obviously the momentum that drives them. When we get back to a consistent volatility, then these are brilliant areas in which to take profits. But as I've said before, when you're breaking out of these areas, then it can actually become less of a factor. You just have to look at the price bars to gauge what's going on. Now we can see some profit taking here. Let's see how long this remains, and if we get another sideways move before moving again. But yeah, big move and activity there for this market during yesterday. So that's a quick roundup as we see there. So the pound is sideways, I suppose, still staying above the 200 bar moving average. See what happens today down in Parliament. We then got the Dow, which is banging its head against the 26,278. This down on the overnight. No news to really move this one today. Let's see if it resorts to the same pattern when it gets to the 200 bar moving average from the overnight there. See if it starts doing this and moving back to the upside like it does in the pre-market session and has done for the last couple of weeks. And Bitcoin, I suspect that the profit taking will continue in this market given that it came out of the blue. We'll see how far this comes back. So what I would be inclined to do just before we conclude is to go down to the low on the overnight, very difficult to pick out here, and up to the high, and let's see how the market copes with 4,369 should it pull back. Okay, that will do it for this one. If there is anything else, I will let you know, but otherwise, as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.